Hi folks, so I'm doing a quick video. I never create these videos. I never do reviews, so I apologize if my anecdotes and my qualitative summary of these pressings of the John Coltrane I Love Supreme isn't quite up to par with some of the other reviewers out there. But I figured I'd get something out there just because this new alter tape is so new, and this is a very popular title, and I just thought I would provide my opinion on it. I'll compare and contrast it against 3 other versions of the album. A US first pressing stereo, the latest impulse pressing mastered by Ryan Smith, and then another Gelder pressing that is actually the acetate, the Supersense Acetate that came out last year from the Austria company. The company in Austria that had a bunch of controversy around getting master cut acetates. So, let me jump in to this kind of based off the, I guess, kind of the most common one, kind of the baseline, is the latest pressing. This is the latest impulse pressing, mastered by Ryan Smith, and honestly, it's pretty good. 2 complaints are, and some of the tracks, especially like the second track on side A, when the piano comes in, I noticed the instruments are really hard to separate out. They kind of get muddied together, and also it's cut in a very strong stereo sense where like the left and the right channels have the saxophone or the drums, and they're very dominating, and it just sounds a little off. It's an experience. Some people maybe like that. I personally, I like stereo. That was just a little too strong for me of the separation there. I like a little bit in the middle. And so that's my take on just that latest pressing, that impulse pressing, as the baseline. Okay, so next I'm going to go into the alter tape. So a couple of things about this alter tape that are pretty neat is that, one, it provides something the alter tapes in the past haven't provided. Normally they would just have a printout inside of the kind of the album cover. Now it actually has like a fold out with all the details and, you know, John Coltrane's story about this album and how he was going through a spiritual awakening. This is really cool. You know, like, I can connect with this. I can connect with his story and what, you know, some of the things he was going through. I've gone through that in my past, and it's a way to connect with his music and his frame of mind in a whole different way. And so the fact that they added that in there was nice, because honestly, like most albums, I don't read that kind of stuff, but when I saw that, I'm like, oh, let me check this out a little bit. And it also has this whole booklet that provides all this information, like handwritten inner liner notes, stories, printouts. Like, it's just all these details here, telling the story around the album and how he recorded it. So I just thought it was neat that they added that in. Sound wise, amazing. It completely engulfed you. A lot of detail, very vibrant. There was really good separation in the different instruments. You know, there was detail in some of the drums, like especially towards the end of the introduction, this first track on side A. Excuse me. There was like little things like where the drummer, you could hear them clicking their sticks together to put them away because they were finished with the song, or to set them down. And just these little teeny tiny details that I didn't hear in any of the other albums. Maybe a little bit in the first pressing, but yeah, it was really good. I would say around the stereo, it wasn't an issue. It was in stereo, but it was like this all encompassing sound just coming at you from all angles, and it just engulfed you, and there's separation, and you could place instruments in different areas. And I'm using headphones. I'm using the Odyssey LCD4 headphones with a tube amp, and so it's really hard to get that sometimes, and I just thought it was great. So kudos, great separation. Next, let's just jump right into the acetate. Overpriced in my opinion. I mean, just for what I got it. I bought it because I wanted a high quality pressing to transfer to a reel-to-reel tape. Then about a month later, this came out. I'm like, dang it. But whatever, what can you do? Hindsight's 2020. And I don't really know how to clean it. So this is the second time I've played it, and it kind of had this like film on it, and there's surface noise. Whatever. I just need to learn how to take care of acetates, I guess. But the left-right channel, it was also kind of like so this is a Gelder mastering, and according to Discogs it is. And so the left and right channel were kind of dominating a little bit more, but not nearly as bad as the latest Ryan Smith pressing. And I just noticed it was really low volume. So I had to turn up. Maybe that's just what acetate is. I don't know. It's my only acetate that I own. But I had to really turn up the volume, and it lowered the sound floor, and so it introduced noise and surface noise, and just it was, I didn't really like it. But like the separation of instruments was great. Overall, good sound quality. The last one to kind of give an update on, compare it against, is the first US stereo pressing, which is this jobby right here. And this is like a VG Plus graded album from 1965. So you have a little bit of crackles, not overpowering, totally fine, gives it character, right? And so I'll say that this is probably the closest thing to the alter tape that I could get to. I did hear some of the detail in the drums that I didn't hear in the other albums. It wasn't as predominant as the alter tape, but it was there. You could, if you knew it was coming up, you could really pay attention. You could hear it, but it just wasn't like standing out. But otherwise, it just had a really full sound as well. It didn't have the left-right over-dominating problems that the other pressings had. And yeah, that was it. So kind of in summary, the way I would kind of rate them is the alter tape's number one. I mean, I think you just kind of get that with a reel-to-reel. I mean, I don't think it's really fair comparing it against vinyl. But if I were to rate them against each other, I'd go the reel-to-reel number one. Like right up there with it is the original, like first pressing, US pressing in a decent condition. I don't know about the mono. I'd love to hear it, but I would say that's the second one. Third, I think it's a toss-up between the acetate and the the latest Impulse pressing. I mean, if money's no object, I mean, go ahead and get the acetate. I don't think it's that much better. Honestly, that's just my humble opinion. So yeah, there you have it. I don't know. I hope this helped. If folks are wondering what the new alter tape sounds like, it sounds really good, and the detail's great. The separation's great. You're engulfed in the music, and they give you a little bit more with the packaging. You get the books with a little bit more of the story. But, I know they're raising the prices on those as well, and I don't think the books are worth, I don't think these little pieces of paper are worth the amount that they raised it. But, things are going up. Prices are going up. There's inflation, right? So, anyways, take care.